I love Burgess Meredith. Man, he was so cool. Anyway, next in the Batman series from Moebius, we have the Penguin. Got to get this done pretty quick because I'm backlogged on the Batman series. They came out with this, and then right away Robin also came out, so I just picked up yesterday. So we need to move forward on the Batmans before we get buried in Batmans, I guess we can say. So this is the, what are we on now? This is the third? Did the Batman? Yeah, we're only on the third. We still have like 5 more to go in this series, something like that. But anyway, the Penguin, Burgess Meredith. Haven't really looked at the kit yet. I picked this up a month or so ago and just kind of tossed it in a drawer because I was too busy. We got metal rods here, probably for the umbrella. I'm just going to take a quick look here. Anyone interested? Quick glance. Kit looks pretty good. I see some small flash here and there, but not too shabby. And in white plastic, a Robin, which we'll get to in a couple months probably. It's made of yellow plastic. It's very weird. So, oh, sorry, it's folded and stapled. Confused me for a moment. Anyway, so instructions. Really simple. A lot of the arms are in 2 pieces, which is going to take a lot of filling. So I'm going to be working and filling gaps on this thing for quite a while. Oh, good lord! You have to do the ribs on the umbrella if you do it on the open side. And there's the metal shaft. I'm going to do the closed one just because I like that better, the pointing, and of course, you get penguins! And there we go. So most of this is going to be, I'm going to speed through the build here so we just get to the paint and cover the highlights. The trick, which I have to figure out, is how to do his vest and gloves, because on the show, it's not feathers, it's like a, sort of a, what do you call it? Shag, I guess? I don't know, a polyester type long hair shag on his gloves there to make it look like feathers, but it's like a really fluffy effect, and I have to figure out how to do that. I was thinking of doing white glitter like I did on the Catwoman, but instead I think we may go with snow flock until I find something different. But that'll be a ways away figuring that out. But until then, let me get started on the build process here. I hate this kit! I don't want to build it! No, I'm having a little bit of problems. I just want to show you real quick. Part of the issue is going to be with this kit is this is more 3-dimensional, if you get my drift, than the other 2, the Batman and the Catwoman, which are very just kind of standing, straight like this. This guy, he's got more of a paunch here, and so there's more pieces, which means there's a lot more seam lines and gaps and things to fill. So filling this is going to take a long time. But we do have a couple issues I've run into. The umbrella, extremely warped, as you can see there. It appears to be, if I glue it together, I thought I was going to have to heat it and reshape it, but going by the rod, if I glue it all together, it should be fine because the rod goes in straight. But I'm just gluing it in segments. So gluing this, we'll let that dry fully, and then I'll glue the middle and then the tip to get everything really good and make sure I don't keep it straight and keep the rod in there. Bottom of the umbrella was also warped, and while I was putting that together, I forgot that I didn't realize that it's supposed to go into the arm first because there's a little anchor there. That's no big deal. I can just cut that off and insert that in the arm. Luckily, the metal pin, they made a hole inside here to support it, and so losing this is no big deal. The main problems is I've noticed so far is the bow tie right here, or mainly the whatever you call the strap of the bow tie, that particular area. The kit comes with a bow tie that I have somewhere. There's the bow tie, but the rest of the bow tie is not evident. Well, it might be slightly there, but it's blended in so hard, completely into the collar. It's really not there. But definitely it's not as obvious as it is in the example. So I'm gonna have to sculpt the strap on there. So that's gonna take time. And also the buttons here blend very well into the vest. So I think I'm gonna have to cut those off and make my own buttons. And also the vest is, they gave it a texture, which looks nothing like the texture that I was talking about before, that plush look that he has to his vest. And I don't think they even did it on the gloves. Nope, they didn't bother to do it on the gloves. And there is a little thing here, if you can see that. There's a little rectangle. I'm assuming that's supposed to be an inside pocket. I don't know if I can find that in one of the TV show. I'll have to go and watch. I may just sand that down because it's just so subtle and I don't know why it's there. So yeah, there you go. If you're building this on your own, that's some of the problems you may have to deal with. Just gluing all the parts together right now. I got the screws in the shoes, so I can screw it to the base and then take it all off, because once I build all these, I'm going to redo all the bases so they match. But it is just a lot of pieces. One really good thing I'll say, I really like the face. The face has a lot of detail in its little wrinkles and looks pretty good. But yeah, that's about it for the build, I think. Hopefully I won't run into any problems. It's just going to take a long time to fill all this. We are almost done with the first stages of all the putty filling. We still got a lot more to do because we still need to prime everything and then check for seam lines, because once we get the primer on, it's going to be a lot easier to see any holes that need to be filled. Now, out of the other kits that I built in this series, this one I think has had the most problems, assuming my memory is correct, just with the number of seam lines and parts not fitting. The arms didn't fit very well. I had to sand this down because this part of the shoulder kind of stuck out too far. And I didn't fill this entirely because I want that seam line to show a little bit, because you know that's where a seam line would be on a coat. And so I just barely filled it with some Vallejo plastic putty, which is marble powder and paint. I think I'll have to go back and put in one more coat because it is shrinking a little bit. But I had to fix that. The feet as well, I can't put this on right now because the putty is still drying. The feet fit extremely poorly. So the feet fit failed. This foot kind of hovered, and this one was not really realistically planted. Even in the example, in the artwork, that foot does seem to be floating a little bit. So I just added some putty and then textured it with a little bit of rock and bark to get the same texture as the rock here. And so that's going to fit a lot better. I have the screws on the bottom, in case I didn't mention that earlier, so I can take this off eventually, because as I know I mentioned, I'm going to paint all the rocks all at one time once I finish with this entire series. So made that removable. Got the umbrella straightened out. I didn't put the rod all the way in by accident. And sorry, I just noticed there's a gap on this side of the umbrella. This is going to take a bit more work to fill. Yeah, it's still not the best fit with all that warpage. I'll have to fill this a bit more. But I didn't put the rod all the way in because I was planning on taking it out, but it's kind of stuck in there now. But I put, where is it? And so it sticks out a bit more, but I'm actually going to leave it like that because that's not too unrealistic for an umbrella to have a little bits of the shaft showing. So that's pretty good there. And what else? Oh, the collar for the bow tie. Mentioned that there was no obvious collar for it, so this is simply just a little thin piece of styrene that I cut out and cut to shape. And I'm just gluing it down a piece at a time to make it easier. So I'm going to glue this down, wait for that to fully dry, and then I'll go around and glue the rest of it and drill a little hole for the bow tie in the center. But yeah, so we're almost ready to do the second round of all the filing and sanding and filling. Once I get all this set, primer it, and then see where we still got holes. And now our penguin is all together, primed, and ready to go on to the paint. Gonna do that in the next part, so makes it easier to index everything. I know the build portion here tends to be quite boring, but just want to go over all the issues that people may have building this guy. I already mentioned some of them, which I already forgot what I mentioned, so hopefully I did mention them. The only thing I did not mention is there is a quite sharp seam line going around certain portions, especially on the his coat. Normally on the other kits it's not a problem because when you have the two pieces they go together like the legs do, so you don't have to worry about a seam line on the inside. But here on the edge, I didn't notice it until putting it on. There's a sharp edge there, which I had a little bit difficult cleaning that up. But we got everything else all together. Just have to examine it one more time, see if I missed anything. But we're looking pretty good. Obviously nothing is actually glued together yet, make it easier for painting. And I still got his pipe and bow tie, which we'll leave off to the end as well. But yeah, we're ready to jump into it. Painting should hopefully be not too difficult since he's mostly just black. As always, it's the face that's going to be the main concern, and trying to get the right shade for his purple fuchsia looking hat. But we're going to jump into painting the face next. Back to using the oil paints.